Good evening, everyone.
It's Friday, 7:30.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Debs.
And welcome to Codes of the Unknown.
Don't be afraid. Good evening, peeps.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody.
Welcome to Friday night. Tonight's guest, we've got Leon Howarth, Dogman extraordinaire. So he's going to be talking about some of his more goings on. So over to you, Leon.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know if most of you are up to date with my last 3 or 4 uploads on my YouTube channel, but there's been some nice little sightings and reports. It was originally going to be a feature-length documentary, all 3 of these, 2 of them at the moment. These investigations, it was going to be about an hour-long special, but things get in the way and weather and everything, and it was taking too long to get it all together with regards to editing and everything else. So I decided to condense them and put them out as shorter YouTube films. And excuse me, depending on which one we want to talk about, it's up to you. Whatever you've got lined up there, I can hopefully slip in to whatever you've got.
Yep. So, sorry, one moment. It's running a bit slow tonight. Right. So
well, you are.
I'll do them in everything. Right. So I've got them. I'll get confused. Start with this one, yeah. So
Tell us about that.
It's demons seen through night vision.
Yeah, that was sent to me by a friend of mine who found it online. It must belong to a bigger documentary because it's only really audio, but it's very strange. And I did know some years ago that night vision was a different color. It used to be a red color, red and yellow. Now they use like a green color for night vision, depending on what equipment you're using. They can actually have it in color now, I think, as well, depending on it. But yeah, this video, it's a gentleman talking to someone else about his father's escapades when he was in Vietnam, and they were given these night vision goggles. They were like a new type thing, and people said they were seeing strange demons and strange animals and things that weren't really there with the naked eye. They were freaking out. There was a big drugs problem in Vietnam War as well, because at first they thought it was like drug addiction and things like that. I know I can't mention certain words, so I'm not bothered. I stick to whiskey, me.
Go for it.
But
it's fine.
These goggles, they were seeing all sorts of things. It's only a little video. If you get a chance to have a listen to it, it's a good one. I've looked into it, and I can't find sod all else about it.
That's
I've
weird.
looked all over. I can't find anything. I do have a couple of friends who are ex-military, ex-police, and that who are knocking on a bit now, so that would be that kind of age.
Yeah.
Try and get something out of them, but they're very hard. They're hard work to get stuff out of them with Official Secrets Act signing and all things like that. But yeah, it's a good one. It is a good and strange one.
I wonder if they weren't wearing night vision goggles, if they'd have still seen something out there.
Well, they did. There was reports, weren't they, out there of rock apes? Did they call them rock apes or something like that? They were like a part of Bigfoot type thing.
Yeah.
And obviously there's real reports of tigers grabbing guys and pulling them out to foxholes and dragging them off into the jungle.
Yeah.
But, it does make you think somewhere in a military museum there'll be a pair of these goggles sat there.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a look through them.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
I've had a look through like the night vision binoculars. You know, when you're doing sky watches and stuff.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Their colour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the stuff they've got now, it's unbelievable what we as civilians can buy and use. It makes you wonder what they've got.
Oh yeah.
Black ops and things that are not, we're not privy to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like these the ones that Colin have got. He's got a night vision camera. It's black and white.
We frozen. What's happened there then?
He's gone went quiet on me.
No, I was. People
Right.
were saying they could hear an echo. I'm trying to see if you can turn it off.
Right.
I think I've done it now.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
better
better
here.
that. Right. Cool. Yeah. So, Ancient Ruby, she mentioned last week, didn't she?
Yeah. Hey.
About the electrician that saw Dogman giant spiders in Afghanistan that were fighting them more than the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you heard
I
anything
some
that?
stories. Yeah, more of giants like Bigfoot-sized giant. Yeah, Nephilim.
Yeah.
There's been I've heard a couple of stories of I forgot what the plane's called now. There's a plane they have. Is it a Warthog or something like that? It's like a flying gun, basically. And using night vision at night and shining this return laser beam that tells them how far. Rangefinder, that's it.
Yeah.
Rangefinder. And this giant or this Bigfoot or whatever it was could actually see the infrared of it. It knew where it was shining. It like reacted to it. And there's been a couple of reports like that, and plus we've had. I don't know if anyone's ever heard the one about was it Giant of Kandahar?
That's the one. Sharon's just mentioned that. Yeah.
There's a huge, big, red-haired, monstrous person that was in a cave, and there's been quite a lot of lads who've come forward, giving information on that, who have been privy to it and who have been around there and seen it. Even training records where they were told to shoot higher in the air, so it would be a headshot normally. If they would shoot where a headshot would be, it would probably only hit it in its thigh. So they were even trained up on things like that.
That's quite scary, though.
It's a good indication of a real interaction, especially when they're saying things like that, which to us as normal layman wouldn't even think about shooting a rifle in a certain place. And to bring up things like that, it does get you thinking.
It does.
It's
Yeah,
a massive
worrying,
desolate
isn't
place.
There you go, Leon. Come and join the WIT team in the new year. Winter investigations.
Mix.
Mick McLaren.
Yeah, he was on the other week. That was a good one. That one. That was good. I'll have to get over and have a see. I need some new thermal knickers though first.
Oh, you do up there.
Hold up there.
A
couple of my videos and investigations.
Even in summer, it's
very
cold.
close to there.
Yeah,
it is. But
beautiful views though.
I'll put the next one up.
Right, put the next
one up.
So this is the next one on the list that you sent over.
Oh, the 3 college boys. Yeah, I've had a little bit of stick over this.
Why?
Well, because
you did or they did.
No, I have had a little bit of stick, because basically within the story it mentions, within the sighting, I mean, it mentions the lads were drinking beer and smoking pot, and a lot of people who believe movies and never lived in real world think that doing that kind of drugs makes you see dancing pink elephants and things like that. So they're not. It's actually, it's all.
Yeah,
they're all tripping out their brains like and never sort of thing. But anyone who's ever had a dabble knows that that's not how it works. That's not what you see and what you do.
I've never tripped out on alcohol and weed, so
no, it doesn't happen, does it? So I did. No. I had a fair bit of backwards and forwards with several people over it. Like, why did you even mention that, and why did you even put that in the report? Now, my answer to it is, if I hadn't to put that in the report and somebody finds out one of these 3 lads who they are and they speak to them and they say, well, we were stoned and we were this, it's going to put that story and interaction to pieces because they're going to say that's exactly what they saw and what they did. So I can only tell you and everybody else what I'm being told and be straight with you. And that's what they're telling me. And that's where I can go and have a look into it. But
it's information.
But it is, it is important information, really, because that's what they were doing there. Because the place where they were, it's a hell of a place to find. It took me a while to find it, and it's a very creepy place. Very nice place, but creepy, really creepy.
Where is it, Leon? Oh, do you can't say?
Yeah. It's near. It's on. It's at Outwood near the back of Ringley. Right. Basically, it's about. The crow flies. It's about a mile from M60, not M60. Death Valley, around there. Where? Say again.
Near the Hare and Hounds on the corner at the top of the road.
No, where the you go through Ringley and you keep getting right to the bottom where there's some sewage plant. If you go past that,
the giant seat.
That's it. If you go past that, there's an old Victorian experimental sewage works. It's very close to there. Excuse me, and the stream.
I know what you mean. Well, I used to live down there. We used to go walking around there at a weekend.
Yeah, it's lovely to walk around. But to try and find it with them telling me about it, the only way I found it was by using a map that was God knows. Well, it said it could be anything from 1930s to 1820s. This map, what I found it on.
Right.
Really.
But it that really saved the day to find it. We wouldn't have found it unless I'd have dragged one of these lads along, which they didn't want to be going anywhere near the place.
Yeah. So what happened then? What did how did that sighting come about?
Well, what they were, they should have been at college at Bury College, which is not too far away from there. One of them lived at Outwood, and they decided that they weren't going one day. It was springtime, It was this year.
Yeah.
And they said, like, no, well, let's get a bit of dope and some beers. We'll go to such a body's place and nick some beers out of the garage. So it must have been one of their uncles or something.
Yeah.
And one of them knew this place. No one will find us. No one will see us, which you wouldn't have done. You'd have never found them. And they sat there. They drank the beers. They had a couple of joints, and it was springtime. They said it was a nice sunny day, still day, and they just like lounged around, just doing what you do when you do things like that.
Yeah.
And one of them heard a sound over the water. The little stream's trickling away. It's not a mass. It's only, you could leap across the damn thing.
Yeah.
It's only like 4 foot wide. And they heard a sound, thinking it was like a pheasant or something coming up along the banking opposite them. As you watch the video, the river's cut like into rock. So the water and the banking is probably about 20 foot, something like that.
Right.
On both sides. And there on one side, they could see across to where this thing was. And they said this animal come along, and it was a cross. They said it was a cross between a baboon and a dog-like thing on all fours. Right. As one of them spots it, he like shakes the other two like, bloody hell, look at this, Christ, effing me, like, what is it? They're trying to work out what it is. They're scratching their head. They've followed it.
Yeah.
They watched it go all the way across the top of the banking. And in the video, there's like a mudslide at the end of it. Now, where they were sat, they said they saw this animal get up onto 2 legs and then slide down this mud banking, but slid down like a human, like we would, not like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
A dog would run down head first.
Yeah.
This thing didn't. It slid down feet first. So what they said, feet first. And then they said originally they thought it just disappeared into a load of bushes, not knowing what was in these bushes. It took them a while to get a bit of courage to go and have a look at it. When they looked at where it disappeared to, there's a cave. It was originally a cave. It's been man-made. It's been made bigger. It's been picked out back in the Victorian days. And this animal, they are adamant that's where it went. It went inside this cave because it couldn't have gone anywhere else.
Yeah.
So as I'm taking all this info in and everything, because of the landmarks and what they were talking about, to find a place for a start and then go down and look into it to see if what they're saying marries up to what happened. Obviously, I can't guarantee. No one can guarantee what happened unless you were there.
Yeah.
But everything that they said and they explained to me all marries up to what they saw and where they were. We found the place where they were sat. The place where this animal ran across. We found the hole it disappeared into that they didn't even know existed. And we actually went in the cave as well. So in that video, you'll see us going into it. Now, unfortunately, I thought I timed it right for the height of the water in the cave because there's water running through it.
Right.
But as I got further into it, I've not been in, so I didn't know that it dropped down. And as it's dropping down, it's filling up. Water finds its own level, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So as it's dropped down, it's filling up. So we didn't get in. We probably got in about length of a bus, double-decker bus, like how long that is. But it looks to me in it what I could see with my torch that there's another corner and another turning. So we're going to have to wait now till, well, it's going to be spring, midsummer, and that water's going to get that low. It was just too dodgy. You could go in with waders,
right?
But not knowing anyone who's been in there. You'd be gambling with it. And if anything went wrong, you would be absolutely screwed in there.
You don't know what you're going to meet when you get round that corner.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing as well. In the video, my son was my cameraman in that video, And he said the same thing. He said, "What are we doing? Like, you know, we don't know if someone's asleep in here. We don't know what it's done, anything at all." And
could you smell anything, or did you see anything, or hear anything odd?
No, nothing at all. When there was a breeze coming in from behind us, so nothing was coming up from the actual cave itself. Right. The water was crystal clear. In fact, I found a crayfish living in there, which is part of like a little look like miniature lobsters.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
I do a lot of fishing, wild fishing up and down rivers. Never ever seen one of them anywhere.
No.
And this water was that clean and that good that it was good enough for it to live there. But on the old map, we found out that the stream itself, it's fed by springs, so it would be clean. It would be spotless.
Pure. Yeah.
And it drops somewhere. It drops into the Irwell River, which is another one of them. Where these animals are using waterways and old railways to move around willy-nilly what they want. So a lot of it does marry up and come together. But it's a great little film, great little video. But it'll be even better next year when we get back in there. A couple of more guys. We'll go with more equipment. It'll be a wader's job.
Yeah.
I've saved some bangers from bonfire night to chuck in there first to scare it off if anything's in there. So
all right if it chucks it back out before it goes off.
Just going to say, if anyone knows, if you go on the website, if you want to see any of Leon's videos, if you go onto the website into associate groups, his YouTube link is on there. So you've got Colin and Leon that are on. So if you click on that, it'll take you straight to your YouTube channel.
Yeah, you'll get them all on there.
Just saves me finding out links and putting them on there. Just go straight onto our website, go into the association, and you'll see them on there.
It's funny when you mentioned the cross between a dog and a baboon. At the moment I'm on with collecting the accounts from the Truth Proof books, Paul Sinclair's Truth Proof books. Yeah. And one of the accounts in there that I've written out is that description. Body of a dog stood on two legs, but the face of a baboon.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder what the hell,
what it is that's running around it.
Yeah. And that's obviously over the other side of the country. That's the East Coast.
Yeah.
You're sort of nearer the west side.
Yeah.
Well, this thing, they reckon it took about 2 steps on 2 legs. Whatever it was, it preferred being on all 4s.
Yeah.
Until it had to do something like slide down that mudslide. Yeah. But in that video, when you look in it, when you watch it, you'll see that once it gets in that cave, it's got to be sure-footed to get around because it's all over the place inside because it's been worn by water over hundreds and hundreds of years. It's all. Yeah. I know we've got mountain goats that climb up mountains and things, but
then if it's used to using 4 feet anyway, it probably can.
It can just whiz straight through it, or go to sleep in there, or what, I don't know. But
scary.
It'll be interesting to see what we find.
Yeah. Carol Ann's asking, how did you get into this weird stuff we do? Sorry if you answered this in a previous live feed. I don't think you did, actually.
Well, growing up where I grew up in my old village in Preston, which is not far from where Andy grew up.
Yeah.
There was always weird stories about cavemen, and people didn't really go on about Bigfoot and things then, but
no,
Man of the Woods and ghost stories and all sorts of things. So I've always really been into it. And then about 10 or 12 years ago, a very good friend of mine, his mother, got a sighting of an animal on their farmland, which is another video that's on my channel. Keep plugging this channel, don't I? But you to go and watch. The whole interaction is all on that video. and she saw this animal that was the size of a bull but looked like a dog.
Right.
She's just mentioned it to me in passing, and I thought, this sounds like, you know, I'd heard some films on YouTube, watched some films on YouTube of people talking about things, and thought this sounds just like what people are talking about.
Yeah.
And that was the big switch on, really, to me looking into it. So we made a documentary for a mate's channel and put the documentary on his channel as a Halloween special, because he's more of a outdoorsman type thing, Land Rover and all that. Looking at your cat there, what's he see? Is it a boy or a girl?
That's a boy. That's Bob.
Bob.
He likes to be in on the. He likes to be in on the.
So mine normally turn up. I'm surprised they haven't been tapping on the door.
Yeah, no, yeah. I remember last time.
So yeah, I got that. We put this video up on his channel, and it just went mad. People went mad for it, and I thought, well, I'm gonna have to really look into it. I've had my YouTube channel for years, and it was just full of silly daft things and model. I used to fly a lot of racing drones and things. Right. There's a lot of videos on there, and I thought, no, well, let's just change the channel into what I'm into.
Yeah.
Don't give it a real pinned down type of name like the Dogman channel or things like that, because then you can't talk about other things. So I just come up with do it Noel's way, because that's the way I want to do it, and that's the way I do it. So that's basically how it all set off. It all set off as a kid growing up in a weird place, and a good friend of mine's mother seeing a strange animal.
Spooky. D.A. Roberts is saying, what about the London Underground? Any expeditions planned for some of the old tube stations? I don't know. There's probably somebody out there doing that.
They will, yeah. There's a lot of the what they call guys that keep sneaking into them, don't they? The
urban explorers.
Urban explorers, yeah. They come back with things that they've seen in that. But that's another one. With regards to the theory of them, how they move around the country with the underground, it's all connected to the railway.
Yeah.
It's I'd love to go down and have a look in there, have a look in some of them. So if there's any urban explorers who want to come, want me to come along with them, I'll go and have a go.
There's been some very spooky things seen down on the underground.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go. It's only half an hour on the train.
Oh yeah, you're down there, aren't you? Yeah.
I'd definitely be up for that. Yeah, literally, it's 30 minutes on the train to London from here.
Yeah.
There would be someone out there who could get us in there. And it's probably, if anybody, it was a guy called Kurt Roberts. He's a Welsh lad. He does a lot of things like that. Very laid back lad. Not too, but a lot of those guys are really, really over the top and really
frantic.
Yeah. This guy's really laid back and a good lad. He would probably, if he didn't know himself, I think he would know someone who could pull some strings and get us in there. I'm quite sure he could. But he's got a good YouTube channel as well, Kurt Roberts. Look him up. Good lad.
That's one job I couldn't do, is that, when they walk the lines on a night checking for faults and...
No, not down there.
They do it alone as well.
Yeah, they do it on the bloody sod, that.
No. It's all right going in a group, but not on your own.
I'd have a big police station dog with me.
Yeah. 2 German Shepherds, one either side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Joe's asking, has there ever been any... Has there ever been good sightings of Dogman?
Well, everyone who's into this game knows about a good sighting. The answer is, where's the evidence, isn't it? The real question is, where's the evidence of it?
Yeah.
Now, funny enough, on one of the pictures I sent to Andy, which got sent to me by a lady, she thinks that this animal is a juvenile dogman.
Right.
And it was seen in a urban setting, not quite in the middle of a city, but in an urban setting. And it's on its own in some kind of dirt alley. It's the video that she sent me. I put up on my channel. It's probably, I think it's about 10 seconds or something like that. And it's very interesting. Can't really work out what it is. People have come forward saying it's a kangaroo, it's a coyote, it's this, it's that. Kangaroo, there's no tail on it whatsoever.
No.
And if you manage to, if you go on YouTube and put it and slow it down, you can. There's a function to slow videos down on YouTube. You can actually see its hands, one of its hands, and its fingers are twice as long as mine are.
Yeah.
As it's flopping around. I do have it queued up to put on my son's computer. He does all the photoshopping. He can check into it even better. So that's one job he's got to do. He's learning all things like this at college, so he said he would do it for me. Do like a breakdown on it. The only thing is, the woman who sent it me has gone quiet. She won't answer any more questions.
Right.
Nothing whatsoever. So there is slight alarm bells ringing when you get them like that. But on the other hand, to try and get anyone to even speak about it is hard work. And once they do speak about it and realise that there's some kind of interaction with it where people are asking more questions, it freaks them out again. And they do go. People gone quiet on me before, and hopefully she's going to come back and
it could just be the shock of thinking about it, and
fingers crossed.
But yeah, it's a cracking video. I've had people say, "Oh, it's just a rubber model and things like that." But it's not.
It's not.
It doesn't look like it to me.
No,
it's a really good. Yeah. So if that is a dogman,
what as well then in the I'll do with this. I'll add your YouTube channel in the description when I put it up when it's finished uploading and what have you. I'll stick it on there. So the website and then on here. So whatever's easier for the listeners and watchers.
Yeah, I don't. Did I send you a picture of that dogman, juvenile dogman?
I'm just going into it now.
I can't remember what I'd sent you. There's like 3 or 4 different ones, weren't there?
So there's one with the I'll put this one on.
There we go.
It's a thumbnail, so I can't see it.
Yeah, thumbnail it is. Yeah, you can see the hands.
Is that the one?
You can see the hand there.
Yeah.
I was watching this one because you put this on TikTok, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on there as well.
Yeah, I was watching it on TikTok the other day. And it's like, and it's so difficult.
It needs stabilising. That's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
TikTok's hard to watch.
You can see it, but you can't quite make out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
it comes across. It's a lot better on.
I was watching it
on YouTube. It's better because you can slow it down. But that's its hand.
Well, that's what
you can see. That's its right shoulder, elbow, and the hand. It's dangling down. Yeah. Its head is behind that. There's a bit of a bush and a bit of grass to the underneath that letter E. But in one part of the video, it actually turns its head.
Where was this one?
Say again.
Where was this? Where was the location?
Can't find out. She's gone quiet. It's in a town or a city. You can hear vehicles in background, and I think at one point you can actually see something parked up at the end of that dirt track.
Right.
But no, she's just not playing ball.
the way it's sat as well, it's not sat like a dog or even a kangaroo would sit.
Oh, it's really on its back, isn't it? It's really it's sat like a monkey does, basically.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, like
I get loads of things sent to me, and it's basically most of them are what's the word? What's the word where you see a face and everything?
Oh, pareidolia.
Pareidolia. Most of them are pareidolia.
Pareidolia.
And that isn't pareidolia. That is definitely something.
Yes. Some creature.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Strange.
Well, you see it moving, and in the video, you actually see it moving about, but it doesn't. You don't get it to the full face view.
No, but that's what we're
just always slightly off.
We're hoping to do when Max gets it stabilized, and that it's going to be. He reckons he can do it. It's like any teenage son; it's getting them to do it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or even wash the bloody car.
Is it in the UK?
No.
Right.
No, it's not in the UK. No. Looking at the vehicle, you can't really see it that good, but looking at the vehicle, it's probably in the Americas, either north or south. I'm not sure. We might even still be able to pull up better stuff on that vehicle, but I've got a feeling she'll get back to us. But once all the hype, settles down a bit.
Yeah.
She's obviously seen it herself and seen what legs it's got on TikTok and everywhere else. People asking questions about it.
Yeah.
And it just freaks some people out. Some people don't want that publicity and they don't want really, But she did say I could use it, so
yeah, fair enough. You've got a permission.
You don't know what you can do.
Fair enough.
It's just weird. It's just a weird creature.
It is. I wish I'd have had that there to see it. I'd have had a better camera than a phone.
Yeah.
Would have been great.
I've just spotted her. Where's that gone? No, it's all right. I'm just looking for a comment. It's disappeared.
You're losing it, Deb.
No, I've lost it. So, what's the next one?
I can't see half, Mike.
The next one.
Bob's very interested.
It is, isn't he?
I'll have to go and get.
He's sat on my knee.
My cat, God, it's a nosy thing. I take it. Oh right, yeah, her screen incident. Yeah, that was a young lady who come across this animal in a graveyard,
right?
Which is not far from where I am. It's Hurst Green is a really ancient school there from like 1500 and something. It's got its own school, has its own graveyard. It's a Catholic school. It's like a border school.
Yeah,
it looks like something from Harry Potter.
Oh yeah,
awesome looking place. If you look it up, it's called. It'll come to me in a minute. But the little village is called Hurst Green. Now she was told about this graveyard because this graveyard has when she told me about it, it has a tolling bell, ding, bring out your dead, bring out your dead. Yeah. A big mausoleum building in there. And she's into graveyard and she'd never seen anything like it. So that's why she went down to have a look at it. In the video, we're in the graveyard, we find the mausoleum, we find exactly where it was stood. Another thing, it all marries up to what she's saying. I like to go, if someone sends me a report like that and I'm capable of going in and have a look at it, I want to go and see if that's the road they drove down to get to it, and is this in the right village? And then it gives all more credibility to it, to the thing itself. So I like to turn up and look around the place, get a feel for it, and remember what she's told me, and look for them things that she's told me, and if they're there and they do exist, it's just more of a real
Builds up a bigger
incident.
picture.
Yeah, and you can see what that person's seen, and it just. But anyway, we found this mausoleum. The bell thing, we even rang the bell in the video. We ring the bell in the video, and when we got to where she said this animal was stood, the ground drops away behind the back of the mausoleum, and it's like whatever it was that was stood there, it was either climbing up the wall and over the wall, or it was about 9 feet tall.
Wow.
Which I've personally never heard of anyone ever telling me something that was that big in this country that was on two legs. She said she saw its hand first on the side of the building, and she thought it was a giant spider. Her spider, thinking she like as she looked, then she realised this thing. She could hear this. What did she say? She used to be like a stable hand, and horse looking after horses, and she could hear this thing moving around, and it sounded that heavy. It was like as heavy as a horse. She could hear the crunching and the cracking in the thing.
Yeah.
And as she looked at it, it popped its head round the corner and looked at her, and she said she just like froze and couldn't move. There's a lot of reports about Bigfoot and Dogman and other creatures like that. They're giving out infrasound.
Yes.
Like what a tiger does, or like what alligators do, and things like that.
Yeah.
And listening to what she said to me, I think that's what it did. Because any normal person wouldn't have been there. Been a millisecond, you'd have been off in a flash. But she seemed to like say that it like time stood still for a bit, and she was just like hypnotized by it in a way.
Yeah.
She couldn't hear anything, but then again, you can't always hear infrasound. It's more of a feeling, and it's more messes with your senses and things like that.
Yeah.
But it twigged its head a bit, like a puppy does, that type of thing. She just like clicked out of it and did one. She ran off, and she's adamant it ran the other way in a car, and off she went. But in where that place is, there's two rivers which are less than a mile from where it is. Why I'm saying that is because I'm always looking for water sources or canals or railways. They all seem to be interconnected.
They do. Travel routes.
Wherever I find,
definitely.
wherever I go, they're there. They just keep popping up all the time, and it's just it's becoming obvious now. But yeah, that was hell of a place. If anyone ever wants to go and look at it, it's God, I nearly had the name of the bloody college then.
It'll come to you when you're not thinking about it.
Come to me. But yeah, Hurst Green. It's in Lancashire. Hurst Green. It's a little teeny village, and you can't miss the college. The college has been in movies and all sorts of things. It's a massive ancient place. Anyone ever over there, go and have a look, and you can go into the graveyard and have a look at it, and it's spooky place.
Spooky. I like spooky.
So it's proper spooky. It's good.
Lauren's asking, what's the story behind the name of Leon's YouTube site, Do It Noel's Way?
Well, because it's my name backwards.
Yeah.
And there's no fixed down on what I can do by having a name like that.
Yeah.
I can do this kind of thing, or I could make a cheese and onion pie and film that and show people how that's done. So
that'd be nice actually if you could do that. But lovely.
I'll sort that out. Yeah, there's fishing videos on my channel.
Then,
there's all sorts of things, just things that I do and I like doing.
Yeah. Too right. And then you're not stuck just to one thing, are you? Like Leon's Dogman channel.
Everyone.
Yeah.
What was that, Andy? I missed you then. He disappeared.
He's gone again. Oh no, he's moving. I don't know if he's speaking.
Is he doing his Norman Collier again?
If you're going to do food, if you're going to do food, you need to send it out to everyone. Send everyone a sample.
Right, a sample of it, yeah.
A piece of pie.
Piece of pie, lovely.
A piece of pie.
Or a full pie, I'm not bothered.
Yeah, we could sort something like that.
Okay. Right.
But yeah, that's where the name came from. It was just so I could keep it open, the topic.
I think Colin might be referring to my artwork there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? What did we say we called it?
Awful.
Demented jellyfish.
Demented jellyfish, yeah.
I've got a flick of hair sticking up there.
Well,
really getting on.
Polite.
Get your comb out.
Have I done it? I think I've got it there. Driving up the wall.
No, I can still see it.
Oh, bugger.
I'm going to log out and log back in.
All right.
Messing up on this end. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. So I'll leave you to it. Is that all right?
How many minutes?
2 minutes. What's he doing?
What is it, 15?
No,
so that's just packing it in for night, isn't it, really? Anyway, there you go. Alison's asking, Leon, have you had an encounter?
No. Well, yes and no. I've had a growl. I've been growled at, which is, again, another shameless plug. Another video of mine. It's in there.
We played that last time, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. I could have done it.
That was scary, that.
Was another one. That's the closest I've been to coming across one of these things. It was one of the weirdest, strangest noises I've ever heard. I've ever felt as well. Yeah. Actually, I could actually feel the rumble of it. But that's
like
as
you
close.
were saying about the infrasound, wasn't it? That travels through your body.
Yeah, it felt like I'd had a gurgling.
Yeah.
Chest, like like when you get like a chest infection, you get you felt like that inside.
That's weird.
But that's closest I've been to any kind of thing like that. I count myself lucky that I didn't have a really good torch in my tent at the time, because if I'd shone it on it and seen it, that would probably have been a completely different story.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, because you sort of think in this country, you sort of think about what animals that could be, and there isn't anything in this country that makes a noise like that.
No, nothing.
Unless it's in a zoo, and I presume you were nowhere near a zoo.
Yeah, well, that was the closest thing I could put it. I've actually sent the recording up to Blackpool Zoo, which is just down the road from where I live. Nothing at all. Got nothing back from them. Absolutely nothing. I think with things like that, you need to know someone who's worked there. Things like that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm just hoping that one day someone will watch that video and go, that is a blah, blah, closest thing to a tiger or whatever, or, wolf or whatever. But yeah, that was a freaky night. It was a scary night, but it was interesting. Do I think the link to the paranormal? Oh,
it's hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I've got one. I'm on the fence. Mainly because of what we just talked about. Then that noise that I heard. I knew exactly where it came from. As soon as it was daylight, I was up. I was out of my tent. I was checking for prints. I was checking for broken twigs. I was checking for marks on fences. Everything. Yes. Everything that I could think of to pull out the box, I was checking, and there was not a single mark anywhere. There wasn't anything.
No.
And it'd been raining. It was perfect for prints.
Yeah.
You'd have even seen a rabbit print. It was that good. Nothing. Absolutely nothing there at all. No. And where did this sound come from? And it didn't just appear. There's no way a large animal sat there, stood there, or walked through and made that noise. But then again, you go to look at it, and there's no physical evidence, what was it then? Was it in the realms of the paranormal, or was it a real flesh and blood thing? And I'm in the middle of the road with it. I can't say yes or no, which way I go. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Not until I really set my eyes on it. I really don't. I couldn't. If I went, yeah, it's paranormal, I would be lying to you. I wouldn't, because I can't. I just can't make my mind up.
That's the thing. When you think you know what it might be, the next day you think, well, it might be this.
It's never ending.
Yeah.
No, I'm always swapping and changing what I think something is.
It's never ending.
I'm like, right, 100% now, this is what I believe it is.
Yeah.
Then I'll read something or hear something like, oh, I don't know now. It might be something else.
Just that's it. It just totally slides it a different way, doesn't it?
Yeah,
but you've got to keep open to it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This world's a
crazy. If you wasn't
place.
open, if you weren't open, you'd just be like, no, it's this and that's it. Not believe anything else, and blah blah blah. And you just stick to that one point and never change it.
Yeah, it's not good going down that road.
No,
definitely not.
You've got to be open-minded with everything, really, especially on this subject.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
Yeah. Right, Paul Tucker's asking a question. Is there any correlation between lambing season and the sightings?
I couldn't. I would say Nick's probably the best one to answer something like that.
Paul Sinclair as well, because obviously he's been up.
Yeah. He's done some belters there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But to myself, no, not wherever I've been asked to go and look into it. There hasn't been a great deal of cattle or lamb or things, farm animals and things. More of my cases are in the middle of nowhere and nothing really around.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know. There probably is. It's an easy food source, really easy food source.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, if you've ever watched any film of a sheepdog rounding sheep up, sheep can move. They can really, really move, and they stick together.
Yeah, they shift. Yeah.
They have that herding instinct where they all stick together, where it would make it hard to be picked off. But if something's coming in at night and creeping along, grabbing one, that's easy done. But to try and run one down's a lot harder than you think. A lot harder.
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't like to give it a go, put it that way.
No.
Strange question from Ancient Ruby. Would anyone truly want to meet the devil? Not really, no. I don't believe in the devil as such.
He used to be my headmaster.
I believe in good and evil, but I don't necessarily believe there's a God and there's a devil. I think there's a group of entities that represent evil and represent good, because there has to be a balance.
Yeah, there does,
between the two.
Yin and yang.
Yeah. Actually, I had this conversation last weekend. I don't think God one particular person. I don't think the devil is one, or not person, but entity. I don't think it's a single being. I think it's a group collective of different types of beings, and that's what makes up. That's just my theory, anyway.
It's a lot easier for myself to think about the ancient Romans and the Norse having different gods for different things.
Yeah.
If there's just one god that did everything and went everywhere, you'd think, why have you done that? Why didn't you do this? And it's a lot easier to put it together like Norse gods, where they've got one for you know, it's easier.
Yeah.
That kind of idea is a lot easier to get your head around.
Exactly. He was talking about this the other day, wasn't he? About the different gods having different roles. Like you got Poseidon, Zeus.
It's more believable that way, I think, as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It make more sense.
Yeah.
Just before we head to a quick break, Nickname's asking, where are the UK hotspots for sightings and what time of year, if known? I think it's any time of year, to be honest.
Any time of year.
It's quite active.
Benton, yeah, Winter Hill, up and around there, Winter Hill, and on the slopes of Winter Hill, that's teeming.
Yeah.
There's a lot of forestry work going on up there, planting a lot of trees. There's a lot of stuff being disturbed in a way. The person who owns the land, I don't know, I can't remember who he is. He's some lord, such a body. Since we come out of the EU, instead of getting money for sheep and pigs and things like that, I think farmers are getting more money for planting trees. And this guy's decided to plant thousands and thousands of them up there. So there's a lot going on up there. There's a lot of stuff being disturbed. And like you say, Bempton up round there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of weird shit
all around that East Coast, really. The East Coast of Yorkshire.
But I can't put a time of year on things. It doesn't seem to be when I look at it. It's just, I don't know. It just happens. That was where, very random.
Collating all this information from the Truth Proof books, there's no pattern anywhere. It's just the random times, and there isn't a specific pattern.
I suppose it's people being in that place at that time, because you think about it. There must be loads of this happening, but there's no one about. It's like the old saying, does a tree make a noise if there's no one about and it falls over?
Yeah. Well,
if there's no one about, you're not going to know.
Since we had this lockdown debacle, the amount of people who have been out walking in the malls and up in the hills and wherever correlates to the amount of people who are seeing big cats. So it does stick out like a sore thumb, and there's more people around. There's more sightings of especially big cats at the moment.
Definitely, yeah.
There was loads through lockdown. Every time I turned my computer on, one was popping up a little video, or someone had seen this and that and the other, and found a print, and it was just so obvious. It was because there were more people knocking about.
Yeah.
My lights have gone off my Christmas tree.
Oh.
Work, you bugger. There we go. No, sorry.
Something else for you to sort out over the weekend.
Another job. Pull that plug. It's hard work being an old fart.
One more question.
What, love? Yes.
Do this next question, then we'll go on a break.
Yeah.
So Sharon's asking, has anyone ever seen or heard of the female Dogman?
Yes.
I haven't personally know anything about any female. Well, I know that the Patson Gimlin film with Bigfoot was a female. But tell us what you've heard.
Karen, who's part of BBR, British Bigfoot Research and Investigation, her sighting coming back from Yorkshire to Lancashire, where this thing was running along the side of the motorway. She said it definitely had breasts. It was a female. So because obviously as it was running, they were moving.
Yeah.
So that's one that I've heard of. I can't think off the top of my head about another one.
Yeah, but also didn't she say that was more baboon-like in its face?
The word coming up again.
I'm sure she said that.
There were
Don't hold me to that. I might be wrong, but I'm sure. There's 4 of them. There's 2 cars. One got a flat tire, didn't it? So we have to stop and then wait and then.
Yeah.
Long story short, but I'm sure when I was talking to her about her, she said it was more baboon-like.
Where was
I might be wrong, but
somewhere on the way back from Lancashire, somewhere on the M6, the side of the M6 somewhere.
Pt.2 somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, that way. They'd come over the moors anyway. And as they came onto the motorway, it was running on the banking alongside the motorway. But four of the all saw it from different angles. So.
Oh, right. Oh, that's a good. 4 people seeing it in different spots.
If I find the thing, I'll send it over to you. If I find the report, I'll send it over to you.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good to have a look at.
If you message her, she'll tell you.
Yeah, she will actually, yeah.
Karen Eastwood.
It is Karen Eastwood.
Karen Eastwood.
She's a group member as well, so I don't mind.
She's usually in actually, but I think she's not been very well today, so she's probably gone to bed early.
I'll find her. I'll send her a message.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure she won't mind. If she does, blame Deb.
Yeah, blame me. I always get blamed.
Or Joe or Colin. Anyone except me.
Yeah. Right, quick 2-minute break then, and we'll be back with some more questions.
Yes,
very good.
Will. I'm just going to stretch my legs. I'll see you in 2.
See you in 2. And we're back in the room.
Back in the room.
That's a quick 2 minutes.
It was a quick 2 minutes, yeah.
Shorter and shorter every week.
I couldn't even butter a scone. I haven't got any scones, but I couldn't have buttered one.
Might change it to 3 minutes. Start adding it onto it for next week.
Quick toilet stop.
I need longer.
Yeah. You need a bucket aside.
I stood up and the countdown come on. That was.
Should have been more organised, Andy.
Well, I am completely organised.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not quicker than 2 minutes. Quick question, Leon. Going back to what you're saying about disturbing the land. Do you think then that because there's more stuff going on like cultivation and all that kind of stuff, and obviously with the new builds and changing the countryside, that's bringing more sightings?
Yeah, I think it's more of it's disturbing what's living up there because these guys up there planting trees and cutting walkways. I think they're going to make it into some kind of forestry walking, type place. So whatever has been knocking around up there, it's it's suddenly had its nose pushed out of joint because these human beings are knocking around. Because really, up on top of Winter Hill, it's desolate, horrible place really for us to be there.
Nothing there, is there?
Well, so it seems to be pushed further down. A couple of my sightings in that are on the slopes of Winter Hill, and within walking distance of Winter Hill. The video where I got growled at, that's God. Yeah. If you threw a paper plane, it'd land on Winter Hill from where that happened. Plenty of trees in there and around it. It's more mainly the top of Winter Hill that's desolate. It's all surrounding it, but you know yourself, you've been there, you've seen it. Surrounding it, there's woodlands.
Yeah, you got little villages.
Shrubs and everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's just another theory.
Still there. Yeah, is the old print work still there near the Black Dog pub?
Oh no, not print work, dye works.
Dye works, that's it, and it's something to do.
That's there. It's more of like a industrial units now.
Right.
But have you Kruger? Do you know about Kruger, the paper mill, which is on that same river, which is
yes.
Incidentally,
I do.
Another one of my films. That was where the guy was. He said he was fishing, but he weren't. He were poaching, and something came from that derelict building across the ground and up to the fence to where he was and scared him to death. That's a huge, great big. That building goes back to, I don't know. It's about 200-year-old, the original building of it, and within the grounds of that building, there's a dog cemetery in there. Going dogs. You can still see it's hidden away in the trees. If you know where it is, you can find it. And the dogs from like 1901 and things like that.
I used to drive past that place.
Yeah, it's all closed down and knackered now. Some years ago, they released a load of dodgy chemicals into the river and killed out fish, and it fell into ruin. But yeah, that's a great big huge place. We sneaked in there and had a look around there. We didn't find anything in there. We were hoping to find prints and things like that, but we didn't find anything. But unfortunately, once we got there on video, it explains that there's cameras all over the place, and security. We didn't even know that existed. So it was like something from bloody Dad's Army. These three fat blokes creeping around trying to get around all these cameras and everything. But yeah, it come out as a good video. It come out good. It's something did show itself. And I don't know what it was. Some in the video about halfway through, we're walking down a screed, like a hillside, to try and get into another building, and it looks like whatever it is, whatever this animal is or whatever it is, it pops its head up, it looks, and then pops its head back down again. But as I'm walking, I never even saw this. I only saw it on edit. But it explains in the film. It's like a brown mottled thing. It looks, and then shit, someone's there, and it hides again. But yeah, that's a strange, dodgy place. I can't remember what it's called. That video.
I've got one more for you. Sorry, I've got one more for you. I remember. I meant to mention it to Mick last week as well, but I forgot. You know the video of the Northwest Water when they're going under the tunnels and they're filming it, and that thing pops around the corner. It looks like a frogman and pops back.
Yeah,
isn't it?
That's where I say
that Falmouth area.
I don't know. I don't know where that was. Is that where it's supposed to have been?
That's what I've been told. There's a few people I know from the area, and apparently they know the person that was doing it, and that's like between Kersley and Little Lever. He's from that area, and that's where
it's like an inspection team.
It. Yeah. It's for what's it called? Yeah, it's for their records.
Yeah,
sort of thing. It's like an audit. So they're going around to check the tunnels and all that, make sure everything's working. And then this thing pops round. Well, that apparently that one under Farmworth in Bolton.
It won't be surprising around there.
No, so it's just I didn't know if you'd heard anything more about that. Have you been from that area?
No, that's new to me. I've seen the video. I've scrutinized it and watched it, and it's pretty old now, and it's also when you watch it, there's a lot of movement in that video, and so it's not like a stationary camera where someone's then overlaid CGI and things in background. It looks
it
looks very, very believable in real. Yeah, it's being jiggled around this camera all over the place.
Yeah.
It's definitely a freaky one. It's a good. It's I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, you'd be even now. You'd be able to remake that now.
Yeah,
as good as that. If you wanted to make a film, it's really, really well done. If it isn't real, and I don't think it is real.
It's like it's not. You can tell it's non-human.
Yeah,
because it moves to.
It's a real thing. Whatever it is, it's real. It's not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's not CGI. It's not. What's it?
No, definitely not.
No. There's something there, but finding out what it is, that's another story, isn't it?
Yeah. Joe wants to know if there are any reports in Hampshire or the New Forest. I've not heard of any myself.
I couldn't tell you, Joe.
I don't know.
Who would know down there?
I don't know because I don't know anybody down there.
I have no idea.
No.
Nope. Sorry. Can't help you.
Maybe someone will know.
I know there have been sightings. Yeah. I know there have been sightings of things in the New Forest, but without going watching or listening to the videos of the podcast, I couldn't tell you what or where.
Yeah.
Rick wants to know why does Leon think there are no dogmen fossils?
Why I think they know does. Right. I don't know, but are they fossils of every living thing that's ever lived? Because there isn't, is there?
I don't know.
I once got asked a very similar question. I was doing a podcast in the States for two guys, two college lads, and they said, why, if these animals are running around in the forest and things, why do we never find a dead one?
Yeah.
My answer was, how many dead bears do you find? Because you don't find dead bears, grizzly bears in the woods. And when they do find them, they're snatched up straight away by universities, colleges and museums because they just don't. You never find them. No one ever finds them. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands of bears running around.
Yeah, huge.
I know that's that's not the real answer to the question because it's a carcass and not a fossil.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and I don't think there is a full fossil record of every living thing anyway.
No,
I couldn't say.
I'm not really up on my fossils.
Yeah, I couldn't say for definite, but I would say there isn't everything, even things that are that there's thousands in multiples of them. A lot of fossils of shellfish and things like that, which are these billions of them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really answer the question, but on the other hand, it gives some insight into,
Yeah.
Where did these bodies go? Do they bury their own dead like Sasquatch do and things like that?
Yeah.
And again, bears don't bury their own dead, like I just said. I mean, you never see it. They're never really found.
No.
Strange. On the side of the road.
In the will, yeah, unless they killed things like that.
Yeah, they've been hit by something.
If you think how many deers are in this country alone, and how often do you see one?
I've never seen a dead deer. I've seen dead badgers, but never a dead deer.
You would only see one, like I say,
like
it's been hit
where I live.
by a car. You don't even see them.
See, where I live, there's loads around here. There's loads of deer around here, but I've never seen any dead ones other than roadkill.
Yeah. So where are they all going?
What happens to them?
Yeah. Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Does Leon have a view on
another rabbit hole?
On the Mark Barton Bigfoot encounter? Warren wants to know. I've not heard of that.
Mark Barton.
Yeah.
You'd have to give me a bit more info on that.
I've not heard of that.
Does ring a bell.
Carol Ann's twitchy curtains saying.
I just saw that Springfield.
Springview Paper Mill building for permission for 110 homes.
Yeah, that's the place I was just talking about. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have to do some major work on that place because there's some dodgy ground there with regards to chemicals and things. It'd be a massive cleanup. Oh, I've just got a bit of cramp then. It'd be a massive cleanup with that. And I hope they don't touch the dog graveyard.
Yeah.
They probably couldn't find that anyway. The people who are actually doing the job, they wouldn't be able to find where that is.
No. Let's hope they don't come across it.
No, I could take you there tomorrow, but I wouldn't explain on air where it is.
No.
It's just a lovely little place.
Yeah, it's one of them. If you know where it is,
then
it's easy to find. Unless someone shows you, you probably never find it.
But yeah, if building on there, God Almighty,
110 houses though. Well, homes. Didn't say houses. Homes.
Yeah.
They'd be great big
house they're gonna build.
5-bedroom things, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not affordable living, that's for sure.
Oh, Christ, no chance.
No
chance.
Nickname wants to know: has a hunt ever been successful, Dogman or Bigfoot? Not that I've heard of.
No, there's been a couple of guys in the States that reckon they've shot a Bigfoot, killed a Bigfoot, and buried it. Plenty of reports of shooting at a dogman and having no reaction whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even one of my videos, a guy shot at what he thought was a dogman with an air rifle. I know an air rifle's just an air rifle.
Well, yeah, but it's still a gun.
Still sting, wasn't it? And this thing really didn't make a big deal about it.
No.
I don't. Even if they would put that information out, if someone said that I've got this information and they wanted to sell it to ABC or CNN and things like that, it wouldn't get out. We wouldn't get to hear about it. It would all be hushed and shut up. But so you probably never get to it.
Don't you think it's funny that if somebody has actually shot and killed a dog, a Bigfoot, that there would be evidence of it? Why would they bury it? If they'd done that, surely they would be the only ones in the world that had done that.
Yeah,
why would you bury it?
You'd keep a hand, wouldn't you, or a head or a foot or something like that.
Photographic evidence.
Trophy.
But who? Thing is, who would you tell other than your nearest? You wouldn't be telling the media.
Well, I don't know, really.
Yeah, but if you say you've killed a Bigfoot or you've killed a dogman,
yeah,
all the
on
ones
the
Bigfoot against, we pretty much everyone.
The Bigfoot side of it, I suppose it is possible where if someone looked through a scope and shot one, like say in the States or something, or in Canada or something, they then walked up to it to find out that it really was dead, and then realised how human it looked. You would then, oh shit, what have I done? And then you might hide the fact, or hide the evidence and bury it because they look so human. That's the only reason I could think of.
I've heard that someone did that in America. Sorry, I heard that someone actually did that in America. I don't know who the story is, but I've never heard about it once. That similar sort of thing. They seen something, they shot at it, they thought it was a bear or whatever they thought it was, and they went over. And because of how human-like it was, they crapped himself because he didn't know what they'd shot. Because even though it's kind of like an animal, it's more. They said it was more human than not. Like I said, I don't know how true the story is. I heard it on a podcast a couple of years ago.
You would understand the idea of hiding that evidence, then, wouldn't you? But if it looks like a huge balloon or something, you'd take a hand and you'd want your 5 minutes of fame and look what I got and look what I found. So maybe they are very very human like. And the real story is someone has shot and killed one and buried one for fear of being done for a murderer.
Yeah.
You just don't know, do you?
No, you don't.
You just don't know. But on killing a Dogman side of it, never heard anything really. You get the odd sensational stories on other YouTube channels that are huge, where it's just someone reading out a story about not dropping any names or anything, but some American person reading a story out that they've hunted one down and shot one and things. But then it's just a story, isn't it? It's not real. To me, it doesn't come across as a real encounter. Dogman encounter. Oh shit, they don't split out then. Sorry about
that. We'll let you off.
But yeah, it's plenty out there who talk about it, but no.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
how true it is. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You don't know how true it is.
You don't know.
Like everything. Unless you're there, you've just got to take their word on it.
Yeah. Unless you're willing to get up, go and look into it properly, get your feet dirty and your hands dirty, really look at where they were and what they're saying. Like I was saying before, all these things lined up, what these boys were saying, it puts a lot more credence to their actual sighting. But you can't always do that, depending where you are. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's just not doable.
No, it's having the time to do it as well, and
it's just to make like
meeting up with them and them having the time.
Just to get the information off them takes months and months, and then going looking at it yourself, and then coming back home and then thinking, right, how am I gonna put this down in words and make a film about it, and then going back to make a film about it. You can spend 2 days videoing a film and end up with 18 minutes of YouTube. But you can use.
Yeah.
So it's a massive job to make a YouTube video, and then you got your editing and everything. It's not just click bang and it's done. It's a big job to do. Which sometimes does annoy me with some. You get
that's
some
why I do it on live stream.
Yeah. You get people like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do anything? If you make a video and show me how to do it then, and then we'll do it. It really grinds my gears sometimes because a lot of I just don't understand what's involved. And I'm having a rant now and a moan, but anyway.
You have a rant.
I'll say, even doing this now, I'll be up till about 12, half 1 maybe, just while it's rendering and putting all the detail in and adding it to the website and adding the links in the description, put it on the Facebook groups and everything else and tagging it, and just that takes so long.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
To do, like just going to sleep.
Just to get to this part where we are now, where you were bringing up photographs of the things I sent you. People don't know for the last 3 weeks it's been fired backwards and forwards between ourselves for information and that just to get that little bit going again.
To me. Yeah. You're sending them to me. I'm transferring them onto the computer. Then I'm uploading them onto StreamYard. In between all that, I'm doing family life and going to work and everything else in between. And it's just continuation of everything all the time. It's good. I enjoy it. I'm not complaining.
Don't get that.
It takes so long to do it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth it in the end.
Yeah. 100%. I really enjoy what I do. I work hard for it to bring it out and show you what I've done and where I've been and how it's been. It just annoys me sometimes when you do get that little niggling comment, and most of the time I just can't help but to bite back. And really, I should just go, "Oh, shut up! I don't give a fuck. You've got no idea." I should just keep my mouth shut.
Read and delete.
Yeah, that's what I should start doing.
Just read and delete. That's what I do now.
Yeah.
You've got to that. Pointless. Delete. Goodbye.
That's me rant over.
Right, Justin Apple.
Everyone's entitled to a free rant.
Justin Apple wants to know: do you think Bigfoot and Dogman are ethereal, interdimensional, or physical in nature?
Well, it's a similar question, weren't it? To the I don't know the guy that I was on then. I'm in the middle of the road with things like that. I can't say yes or no. I've got one leg over the fence and one leg over the other side of the fence.
Yeah,
it's too hard to answer. Too hard. What, like we were just saying, 1 minute your mind changes to one or the other.
we need to stop doing that. Thank you.
Is that cat annoying you?
Yeah, he's annoying me now. He's disrupting my space because he wants to sit on my knee.
That's what I meant to ask you before. Has your cat ever brought a dead mouse in your house whilst the dead mouse has got a mouse trap connected to it?
No.
Mine has.
No.
She brought the mouse and the mouse trap. There you go, Dad. Look at that.
Yeah. Cop for that.
Yeah. If anyone out there, if anyone's listening, their cat's
set the trap up though.
Little thing.
He's actually brought home a mouse that I thought was dead until I went to pick it up and it was playing dead.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it
like to do that.
Upturned itself and ran off.
It screamed.
How about frogs?
Yeah.
Frogs.
We haven't had frogs.
Yeah.
Not had a frog back. I've got 2 cats.
After eating one of its legs.
Oh.
Frogs, worms, and leaves.
I remember years ago when I was a kid and I lived in Prestonleigh, we had 2 Jack Russells and one of them attacked a toad and ripped it to bits. And it started like tripping off this toad. It must have been some secretion it had on it. The dog was like around. I didn't know what it was doing. She never touched one again. Good. We're going off topic again.
Nice to have a little chat about pets.
Do it every week.
Murderous pets.
Yeah, murderers.
Yeah, mechanical cat.
Thank you, Bob. Anyway, Leon, Badger Actual wants to know, what would your reaction be if you ever saw Dogman? Other than me obvious.
Yes, the obvious would be in your trousers, wasn't it?
Fresh trousers, please.
Yeah. Depend. I don't really know. Really, depended who I was with, what time of the day it was, what I had with me, as in cutlery, and other things that we can't really mention. But yeah, it would be scary and mind blowing and great. It'd be a mixture of all emotions, I think, than anything. And I'd probably forget to film it. No, well, not forget to film it, but I'd be in that much of a shock you wouldn't even go for your phone or anything.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
The amount of times I've seen lights in sky and weird UFOs and just stood there staring at it thinking, shit, why did I film that? Then I've just missed a great one. But
you think you get too engrossed in what you're looking at.
Yeah. Well, trying to work out what it is as well.
People say, why didn't you take a photo?
Yeah.
I'm too busy looking at it. The last thing you think of is getting a camera and your phone out.
Yeah. It happened to me last week. I'd got up in the middle of the night for a gypsies, and the dog was crying out, and I'm stood in the yard, and I'm just looking up at moon, and I thought, what is that dot? And this like little orange red dot was moving across the sky, and I thought, oh, it's a satellite at first because you see them moving across.
Yeah.
And it went like.
Oh, yeah. Satellites don't do that, do they?
They don't do that. No, they don't. They're just going straight line. And I just stood there like a pillock for 3 minutes watching it. And my camera's on kitchen table. And I got the whole thing. And I thought, what an absolute pillock. Why don't you just record that? But you just don't think like that.
No, you don't.
So, yeah, answering that guy's question, yeah, I would be scared. I would be amazed. And I'd be running the other way as well.
Yeah, that as well. Once you'd realised what it was.
Can I just show everyone this week's gift I've got myself?
Go on.
The first one.
He's got yourself a gift. Hello. Yes.
Dogman werewolf.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Oh yeah. It's disappointed because it's plastic.
Where have you got that from?
Yeah, I thought it was metal. It was on eBay. And then, this is a better one, sorry, but Mothman. I don't know if you can see the red eyes.
Yeah, I think, I can work them out.
They come with little plastic, like blister pack stands, what they can sit in. But, because of how they've been done, Mothman stands on its wings like that.
That looks like what they were saying through them goggles, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I think on this one, I love the hunch on its back more than anything. Just the way it's bent over.
They'd have done that well.
Yeah. Even the hands are just. I don't know if you can see. It's so much detail in it. It's even got an 8-pack. Look at that.
Is it 3D printed that, or is it?
It's a shop on eBay, and they sell like kids' plastic animals. So do sheep, cows, horses, and all that. But the ones I could find, so it was a werewolf stroke dogman, Mothman. They've got a Minotaur, a couple of Pegasus. Yeah. Unicorn. Some of them are more kid-like, but these are the only two that were like collectibles, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
I think there was, if you buy 2 or more, you get 10 or 20% discount.
Link, send me a link. I want that werewolf.
I will do. Yeah, I'll send you the one where I bought them from, but it's like more so on this. You can even see like the definition of the muscles. Because I thought there was some of them on there with like 3D print, and it's like you had to paint them and what have you yourself. But I can't be bothered doing that.
No. That's what I used to hate about Airfix models.
Oh yeah, it never looked like it did on the
transfers.
Yeah.
It was all right painting them. It was sticking the transfers on, fold over as you stuck it.
Oh yeah.
Like you're having a laugh.
I had a mate in Preston where I used to live as a kid, and he used to get the ships, the fixed ships.
Yeah.
And he'd make it all. He would spend months and months on it. It would come out perfect. Then he'd glue them to a piece of wood and sail them down Well River, and we'd all throw bricks at them.
Not after all that work. Don't you feel mean?
I do now, but yeah, it was great. Oh, you bastard!
At the time, it was fun.
Yeah.
Bricking this poor thing. Evil. I was only 8.
That's all right then.
Badger Actual says, talking about death, which we were earlier, are there any Dogman-related deaths in the UK? No. And I've only heard of 1 or 2 possibly in America.
No, they seem to like messing with us, scaring us and eating us.
Yeah.
It's everywhere I look, it's the same thing. They seem to get a bit of a jolly out of
scaring you half to death.
Yeah, scaring you.
Yeah.
The one I'm just on about in the graveyard, that came across as though it got a bit of a jolly out of scaring this woman more than anything. Because where it was and where she was stood could have easily had her, and no one would have known about it because there were no one around.
No.
And,
so, quick question on that. Do you think that they scare you to show that they're more powerful than you are, more like the alpha male? Or do you think they do it because they've got a bit of a sick sense of humour?
I think it's probably both, but
I was going to say, is it a bit of both?
Bit of both. When you look at gorillas, they like to show dominance, don't they? The alpha dude, like. But do they feed off that fear, like a demon or a poltergeist would do? Then we go back onto, are they flesh and blood or are they?
Yeah.
Are they paranormal, interdimensional, and they need an energy like that? But they do seem to be wherever they found and seen, they get it. They seem to get a kick out of making
sadistic.
us, making us really scared. Which that could go along the like I said, the demon side of it and things like that.
Yeah, I think we don't know where they're from or what they're in for. We're not going to know until we know that, really, are we?
Not really. Justin Apple says, Mr. Howarth, I'm assuming you're not a fan of Brad. Dogmen Encounters. Lol.
Dogman Encounters. Yes.
That's Vic Gundiff's.
That's Vic. That's
yeah.
I don't know who Brad is. I
don't know.
There's
Brad. I don't know.
There's Vic's channel, and then there's another guy.
Josh Turner?
No, I forgot what his name now. Name
just as Dogman.
Yeah, just as Dogman. He's got a really distinct voice. I can't remember it. If I touch my computer now to look, I'd probably balls everything up, so I'm not going to.
Suddenly disappear. Be a cat's face in your place.
Disappear in a blue puff of smoke. But yeah, a lot of them they do annoy me sometimes. The one.
Sorry, just put.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's just said that Brad's the guy that said he was shooting at the Dogman.
Was that the guy?
Anymore?
That could have been. He's talking about a guy who was on a side-by-side, an off-roader, went down a lane, and there was one outside of a road. He chased him off a road or something. He could be talking about that. About that. But the main person I think who is really into things like this, and they've got the credibility to say and talk about, is How to Hunt.
Yes.
He's a Canadian guy.
I've watched him, yeah.
Takes no shit off anyone. He's proper down to earth. He's been there, done it. He gets a lot of people writing into him with encounters and things like that.
Even from the UK.
Yeah. He is. I'd like to sit down and have a beer with him and really have a talk to him. I think he is, between him and 411.
Yeah.
Pallades, they're the ones who to myself personally I look up to and would agree with them on 99.9% of the things that they come up with and release. But, with regards to, no, I'll not go on my soapbox again. I'll go quiet again.
You can go on your soapbox. It don't bother us.
It's entirely up to you. Don't worry.
No, I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to upset anybody. I've got to be middle of the road.
Yeah.
I've got to be the BBC.
Yeah, don't get them shut down. We're all just getting going. Go on someone else's channel and tell them.
Talk on that one, for Christ's sake. It's too chesty, that lad.
So not doing. I just turn up.
Free Spirit wants to know, what do you say to Americans who say the UK is too small for Bigfoot, Dogman? Well, they've never had an encounter then in the UK, have they? Because I have.
No, real Americans who are real guys and girls who understand this don't say things like that because they know completely opposite to that question. And the Americans who are saying things like that just don't listen to them. Just drop them by the way. I've got lots of friends in the States and Canada who are real guys and real salt of the earth, and they would adamantly back me up in any corner and said a question like that is just, don't waste your time on it at all.
I don't know what you're on about there. Was there encounters around the time of tour? Time of not that I'm aware of. Afterwards, the encounter I had was more. If I had to put a name on it, which I'm still not 100% what it was, but I would go towards Bigfoot more than Dogman. But around that area, within a 3-mile radius, there's been 3 Dogman reports. It's only like 1.5 miles up the road, 2 miles from me, and there's been 3 Dogman reports. One of which I'm still trying to track down because apparently she nearly hit it. It ran across the road and she nearly hit it. And I know the road that it is, but I just can't find this report anywhere. So, but yeah.
Can I just add on to that? If people aren't looking for this type of thing, are they just walking or driving past it? It could be there and they're just not noticing what's going on around them.
Yeah, quite possible.
So you could be passing these 10, 20 times a day, a week, a month, year, whatever. You're just not seeing it because it's not in your mind to be looking out for these things.
Yeah, that goes back to the conversation we had about the deers, isn't it? They're all over the countryside, but you don't see them. And for a fact that they're in that hedgerow and they're on the other side of that fence, you know, they're definitely there. Because you're not thinking about them and looking for them, you're not going to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a couple of months ago. I was driving through Cambridge near the Science Park. It's right near the A14. It's not it's like a motorway. It's as busy as a motorway, but I was probably less than half a mile from there. and I've stopped at these lights. There's a pub on my right hand side, and there's like a Londis or something on the opposite corner. Lights had just gone on to green, just about to go, and a muntjac deer just come out of someone's garden, ran across the road, and went into the car park in the pub. And this is about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It was like, what? So,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was there until it ran out. And that's in the city centre.
Yeah.
One a big city as well. Don't know if anyone knows Cambridge, but it's a pretty big place. And I said that was 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're everywhere, but no one ever sees them.
No, it's
Unless
weird.
you're lucky enough like that.
I know. No, it's so mad. Excuse me.
Yeah, because we've got we've got a park. Well, it isn't a park. I don't know what it is really. It's called Bramley Fall Woods, and it's like it runs down to the canal because there's a marina and what have you down there. And apparently it's teeming with deer down there, but I've never seen them as I've passed on the road. I've never seen any. But like you say, I'm not like staring and hidden in plain sight. Yeah,
it's Justin's put. There are millions and millions of deer in the UK. How many times do you actually see one? I'm presuming meaning not roadkill. Now, if there were a small proportion of dogmen, then these sightings would be even extremely rare. Now, I drove through Woburn Abbey. I drove through Woburn Abbey last week. It's got a safari park, and you've got to drive through the deer park. There's all the signs, cattle telling you to slow down and that. There's hundreds and hundreds of deer in there. I drove through. I counted 6 that I could see.
Yeah.
It's hilly, but you can see for at least a good half a mile in either direction. And I could see there's probably 20 times that amount, but I couldn't see them because it was like near the trees or the bushes or whatever. And that's in a deer park.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of it, yeah.
That's where it's supposed to be, and you still can't see them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It could come back to because us as humans, we haven't got predators, have we, really, now that hunt us down? Back in, the good old Middle Ages and things, there were still wolves running around. You'd look into the woods, you'd pay a bit more attention.
Yeah.
It's a bit like we never look up at the sky. How often do you see a bird on a wing? Because from the sky, there's nothing that's going to pounce from the sky on paper that's going to attack us and get us. No. So you don't see a bird on the wing. You only ever see a bird on the floor, on your shed, or in a tree. We're never up there looking around. We're not paying attention. And that's why you don't see them.
I'm always looking up, mate.
I
like being out on back a motorbike because I just sit on back staring up into the sky.
You got a bad neck. But with you saying that, the biggest predator, well, for us in the UK, is probably humans or dogs, because you don't know how a dog's going to react, especially the bigger breeds.
Yeah.
So I won't even say that it's predators. It's just the chance of them attacking you.
Yeah.
Is higher than anything else out there.
Well, I read somewhere that feral dogs count for most of the biggest killings in the world. In places like South Africa and South America and places like that, the dogs that get into groups with other dogs just go mad.
Yeah,
and they kill a lot. They kill a lot more people than we're led to believe.
They all fire each other up, don't they? Once they get started.
Yeah, they're like rowdy teenagers, aren't they?
But they've got a lot of them have rabies as well.
Yeah, especially in South America, it's
the American ones.
Gets you weak.
Because when I went over there, I was looking for raccoons while I was there, and then I was told that most raccoons have rabies. I never knew that.
Well,
I'm not going to get that close to him then.
Don't go that close, no.
So, if it bites you, you're going straight to A&E.
It's not as bad now because you don't get the injection in your arse. You can put it in your arm now, so it's not
Yeah,
really...
you can, yeah. That's a lot better.
Yeah. It's just... What happened to you? I got bit by a rabid raccoon.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be my greatest story.
What were you doing? I would try and get a photo of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to get me and raccoon sat on the bin. No.
I was trying to fight it for half a pizza.
Instead.
Yeah,
No,
half a pizza out of the dumpster.
Yeah. You do make me laugh though. I don't like a raccoon. I don't think our Bob would.
I'd love a raccoon. Yeah, they would be. It's them little hands in it. The little like, and they always have that look on the face that they don't give a monkeys about anything. No.
Yeah. Wash bears, they call them.
The opposable thumbs.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Oh, trash pandas.
Trash pandas, yeah. I like that.
In America.
You're a little trash panda, though, aren't you? Bob's a trash panda.
Thanks. Oh, I'm not sure who you meant though.
Bobby doesn't bugging on you. Oh, dear.
Said don't tell anyone. Oh, sorry. Oh. That had a laugh for a while.
It's all going horribly wrong.
Right.
Right. Nickname.
I've got one quick question.
No.
Sorry. Am I jumping on with this one?
No.
What is your thoughts on Goatman?
Me?
Yeah.
My thoughts on Goatman?
Both of you.
I wouldn't know anything about it really. I have heard of the I've heard the saying Goatman, but I really wouldn't know. I would just be clutching at straws to try and pull any information. I don't know what part of the world or where it's been seen. Or
I know there's a bridge somewhere in Texas where it's supposed to be seen. Josh Turner spoke about it, and him and Nelly have gone over there looking for it.
Yeah.
It's in a couple of his podcasts, but that really is the only one that I've ever heard of. And it's like a black entity type bipedal goat with, I guess, your horns and hooves, but it's like got human hands. I'm not sure about the legs, whether they're inverted knees or not. Well, that's the only one. I was just thinking because there's so much talk about Dogman and Dogmen. Now and again, you hear about Goatman, even like Frogman,
Toadman.
Like, not the divers, like human-sized type amphibians, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it possible we, thousands of years ago, split off to different directions in evolution? And then there's different, it's just evolved from there, and different species of the original humans.
What's that? Ghost Adventures, an episode on Goat. Oh, I'll have to look at that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know anything really. I've heard the saying, I've heard the thing that's out there, but nothing. I haven't heard any cases about anything. But that I'll look into that.
I was just wondering. That was all. Because, like I said, I've not heard that many people mention or talk about it, or have any, like you just said, any information. That's all I've got. Is what I've just relayed to you from what I heard.
Yeah.
Going back to that podcast, I couldn't get any more detail. But Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
That's not Taps, is it?
No.
Taps, no.
Is that one? Is that Baggins?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
what was he called? Ghost Adventures is the one. The guy who had the
Isn't
house
that
brick thrown
he's
across.
got that museum. Yeah.
What,
He's
that
got
house?
the haunted
Devil
dolls
House.
and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, is
That's
that
the chap.
Bagans? I always get mixed
I'm
up with
sure.
that and Romy Jason Hawes and
Yeah, that's Taps, isn't
Grant.
it?
Taps, yeah.
Yeah, that's Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
I used to watch them on the Really TV channel, and it's like one after the other.
Yeah, they had some interesting encounters, didn't they? Them, bloody hell.
Mm.
The Lighthouse
where-
one was good.
The one where he got his collar lifted on his coat and he pulled back, and they got it on film. It's like,
Yes, I saw that.
it was just like you could just see this get dragged back. It was like that. Really
Yeah, I
freaked
remember
me out.
that one.
That was a good one.
Scary.
That was a good one. And the prison where the thing runs up to the camera and then turns around and runs back again. That was a freaky one. They got some good.
Was it just like a shadow, that?
Yeah, it was like
Yes.
a
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that, yeah.
a weird dark shadow. It's shot like it was running across the prisons. They have metal walkways, don't they, up the side of the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was going down one of them. They got some interesting stuff. Some.
Well, I remember the one. Sorry, what Ghost Hunters are in the lighthouse. Can't remember the name of it. They're looking up, and the figure leans down and looks at them.
Yeah,
But
Saint
that looks like-
Augustine's or something like that,
That's
isn't it?
it. And it was Saint Summit, but I didn't want to mess it up. And that was the thing that looked like that other thing that was in the tunnel in Bolton.
Yeah.
Similar, like big eyes and
Entity looking thing, yeah.
Yeah. He's like human shape, but what actually was, don't think anyone knows. But yeah, that's what it reminded me of, was that.
Right, there's one last question. We've got 4 minutes to go. There's one last question. Badger Actual wants Badger Actual wants to know: are there any other UK cryptids that you'd like to investigate? What UK cryptids have we got other than Bigfoot and Dogman? Bigfoot and Dogman, yeah.
Bigfoot, Dogman.
Owl man.
Well, we got a goat man. People have seen deer men, haven't they? Like beings with horns and looking like deer, but human.
Yeah. It depends what your definition of a cryptid becomes, because is a big cat a cryptid?
Yeah,
that's in this country that do knock around, that are about. I wouldn't mind doing a bit more work on that type of stuff. Hunting down evidence of that. That would be good.
I'm definitely up for that.
Because they're basically everywhere, aren't they? People are, like I said before, people have spotted them all over. So out of anything, it would be like Wild Man and the big cat phenomenon. That would be interesting to look into.
Yeah. You see, there's been a hell of a lot of them on the East Coast as well. Big cat sightings.
Inside on there.
Yeah. Right, one quick question. Change of subject, but what did you think of the Hat Man phenomenon? I'm going to have to plug my laptop in because it's going to die.
Was that the like the shadow figure type?
Yeah.
When you're asleep.
Yeah, definitely a real thing that really exists. I've had a slight run-in with something very similar. When I was a child, and it was just a hand that shot out to me to try and grab my face.
Yeah,
and that was just a black shadow of a hand. Scared me so bad I wet myself. That's for another podcast. I tell you all about that because we're running out of time. But that phenomenon, it's definitely something out there, something that's dodgy and scary, and definitely worth looking more into. Yeah, it was a scary time.
Yeah, I'm not jealous of that one. Sorry to say.
Right. We are now just short of 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
So
it's gone quick, that again.
our
It always
time
goes
here
quick when
is
it's interesting.
Make sure you give it a thumbs up.
Yep. Thumbs up. Don't forget
Leave it.
Leon's channel.
Yeah, go over to my channel, have a
thumbs
look
up.
at it.
If you can't find it, go onto our website. Yeah, go on to codesunknown.co.uk, go to associate groups. You'll see Colin Keelty's channel on there, and then Leon's is underneath. Just click on the YouTube link and it'll take you straight to it.
Yep.
So, thanks to Leon for coming on again.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for everyone tuning in. It's been great. Another great one.
Yeah. Enjoyed that. It's been good.
Yeah, thanks for everyone tuning in. And all the new viewers, listeners, you're the guys that make it happen. And
yes, thank
keep
you.
us going. So,
oh, thank you, Sharon. That's lovely.
Massive thank you.
Hope you all enjoyed it.
I was going on to the video. Oh, bear with me. My computer's decided to stop working.
Typical. At least it's at the end.
Yeah. Well, and at the beginning and halfway through, and sometime in between that and just before that.
Yeah.
So, Christmas list, new computer for gaming. Because I'll have a better CPU for the chips. Right.
Get yourself an iMac.
Oh, I had one, but it wasn't very good. So.
Best thing
I didn't know this was going to be worse. Well, it's my birthday, end of January, so I might do a GoFundMe.
Yeah. Or donations for Christmas presents.
Cheers, everyone.
Right.
Thanks, everyone.
Massive thank you. And before we go, don't forget next week is our Christmas special, which is going to be completely different to anything we've done before. Please don't be late, because it is going to be from the beginning to end. If it works, and this is going to be a little bit scripted.
Yeah.
Deborah sent me a script and I've had to print it off. Whether we stick to it or not, that's another story.
We're not going to stick to it now. I know we're not.
Shall I just write in the bin now?
Anything.
As long as you keep your clothes on, we'll be all right.
Yeah. I'll have extra clothes on. It's Christmas.
That's away then. Oh, and you've got to wear your Christmas jumper, Deborah.
I know. That's definitely another channel, that. Right, everybody, we're off.
So on that note, everyone, massive thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thanks again to Leon for coming on. Hopefully, I'm being presumptuous now, he's definitely going to be coming on again in the new year.
Of course I will.
And we will be doing a meet-up and going out doing a live investigation.
Yes.
Including Mick and hopefully a couple of others, and we'll definitely get that started. And it's all looking good. So thank you, everyone, and see you all next week.
Bye, everyone.
See you next week. Bye.